Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to tonight's album review. It's time to tackle the 10th studio album by country music singer Jason Aldean. This one is entitled Macon. So this is part one of a double album. So these two projects are based off of the titles are based off of Jason Aldean's hometown of Macon, Georgia. So this is Macon and part two, Georgia, will be released early next year. And of course, this is the follow-up to 2019's Nine. So, Jason Aldean was one of the artists I was introduced to very early on when I was first getting into country music, and I enjoyed a lot of his stuff, especially the singles of the time. Amarillo Sky, Johnny Cash, those were just so much fun. In the early 2010s, he really broke out and became one of the preeminent stars of the genre, sort of riding the wave of the bro country movement, though not bending the knee to it nearly as much. His music has consistently been a lot more listenable than a lot of his contemporaries, um, though where he goes stylistically varies greatly from project to project. So in recent years, he has really been coming at you from all angles. Like 2014's Old Boots, New Dirt and 2018's abysmal Rearview Town were his attempts at more overtly pop sensibilities, whereas 2016's They Don't Know and 2019's Nine were very strong returns to form, showcasing his knack for marrying pop country with southern rock. If you know Jason Aldean's music, that's pretty much what you get. Stylistically, there's a lot of electric guitars. It's a very masculine sort of sound. But with this new album, it kind of falls right in the middle. It doesn't completely venture back into the cold, unforgiving depths of previous albums like Rearview Town, but it lacks the sort of spark that made some of his previous albums a lot more enjoyable. So one criticism I've heard of Jason Aldean's music throughout his career is that it's competently performed, though lyrically vapid and completely unnecessary. So Jason Aldean can body a track vocally, though sometimes the sort of creative decisions don't really justify a song's right to exist. And I think that's as true here as it's ever been for Jason Aldean. A lot of these compositions, while perfectly performed, are almost criminally predictable. The same bag of songwriting tropes gets eluded once again. This bar doesn't work anymore. Oh, my ex is here. My night is ruined. Heaven. Oh, baby, we're in, get this, heaven. Small town small. Oh, thank God for mom and pop diners in the little white church. Listen, I grew up on mainstream pop country, but god damn it, don't you people have anything interesting to write about? I mean, I got to be fair to Jason Aldean. He doesn't get trapped in the pitfall of writing about beer and trucks and dirt roads nearly as much as some of his contemporaries, though the areas he does venture into are only marginally better at best. This album was preceded by the single If I Didn't Love You featuring Carrie Underwood, and I gotta tell you, that song does nothing for me. It's just another one of these overblown, high profile duets, which coincidentally all seem to feature Carrie Underwood, like Remind Me with Brad Paisley, The Fighter with Keith Urban, all of these tedious, mundane country pop duets. They all have Carrie Underwood, and this is just the next in a long line. This album does have its moments. Over You Again and That's What Tequila Does are brimming with traces of 2000s pop to supplement Aldean's trademark sound palette of modern contemporary country and, again, more masculine southern rock. The latter song in particular manages to vary up the direction somewhat by setting up another one of his wheelhouse choruses, only to can the drums into the background a little bit, placing more of an emphasis on Aldean's vocals. The former song, meanwhile, has just enough hip hop beats to make the purists change the dial. But I will defend this track. It does manage to marry those hip hop beats with the overly abundant guitars pretty well. It's honestly a glimpse into what someone like Sam Hunt would be capable of doing if his vocal presentation wasn't so white you'd swore he was a snowman. The Sad Songs is another exemplar of the kind of dichotomy that defines and even sometimes plagues Jason Aldean's music. So in this song, he sings of, fearing that his current relationship might not last once his girl learns of all the skeletons in his closet and his rocky past. Once again, superbly performed, but part of me can't help but dock points for just getting snared in another easy lyrical pitfall. I mean, some of the songwriting choices are just insanely predictable. I mean, nothing. even remotely interesting. You got to get new songwriters, bro, because he hasn't had a songwriting credit of his own on an album since his 2005 self-titled album. So I mean, start writing some songs, Jason. So overall, it would be a lot better if this album was just hilariously average, though this falls a couple notches below. This is criminally mundane. There's nothing interesting. A couple of decent standouts, but overall just more of the same. Not nearly as bad as Rearview Town, so I do have to grade on a curve, give back a couple of points for that, but just not nearly as good. Not indicative of his best work. Certainly not good relative to what he's capable of. I mean, 2016's They Don't Know is probably his best album. Um, we'll see what the double album looks like. We'll see what his future discography looks like. But based off of this, I'd say it's a very sad, tedious middle ground between the best of what he's capable of and the worst of what he's willing to, to put out. I'm gonna give Macon a 2 out of 5. So if you guys enjoyed this review, smack the like button. Leave your thoughts on the album in the comment section below. Subscribe, hit the bell to get notified next time I drop a video, and we'll see you again next time.